Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Right on your screens, and we are back with a cool topic today and an expert guest, Christian Bäcker. Today, we would like to jump in regular, interesting piece of challenge, such as ROI and benefit-driven digitalization, not only in normal projects, but also the AI projects. And we would like to share some observations with our expert of today, who is Christian Bäcker. He's associated with Proven Impact, where he contributes to discussions on digital transformation and technology integration. He has written about the challenges an organization face during their digital transformation, emphasizing the importance of navigating the valley of tears, to say so, to achieve successful digital integration. He founded his own company in April 2023. And before that, we know each other for a long time. He was working aside of digital, also for formerly known as EC4U, on several interesting topics. I would like to mention just the sectors and leave then Christian to give us more details, as he has expertise in manufacturing, healthcare, finance, retail, and automotive due to his several projects. And one thing overall in common on all these projects he has seen, the question of the return of investment, the generated benefits, and in some projects, the challenge to get them to success. Out of this, he specialized also on a dedicated project saver who is entitled those special candidates to get them back on track in their projects. And that is where I would like to hand over to Christian to introduce himself and give us a bit more input on what I forgot.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph, for the nice introduction. As you stated, we know each other already for years. So our first contact was around about 1999, 2000, where we started in the CRM area. Ralph was part of the expert circle for CRM in Germany. I was a student at that time and learned a lot of these guys. Then I started in the CRM area with big Siebel projects, then SAP, CRM on Demand, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and also Salesforce in the early years. That was the technology platforms. We were working here. My personal background was more in the process area, how we can improve sales processes, Salesforce automation, marketing automation, also the analytics part to get the right KPIs and the correct steering of sales organizations. And based on that, I was working for more than 17 years in a company which was formerly called EC4U. We were a big implementation partner in the DACH region for the market-leading CRM platforms. That company was acquired by venture capital and was moved to a company named Digital, where I was a senior vice president for operational excellence. And that was my main topic, to get projects which are off track with the right methodologies and tool sets to bring them back on track. And that was also my decision last year in March to make out of that a own company, which is focusing on project quality, trusted advisorship, and helping projects which are really challenging on the one hand side to optimize them as a trusted advisor to not go into all these pitfalls, and on the other hand side, if something is going off track, to lead with my experience and with my team and my network to make them successful again. Because at the end, a lot of projects in the digital transformation were maybe stalled or ended in a dead end, or how to say it in proper English. And this shouldn't be the case, because I would say digital transformation is an essential topic for every company which want to be market leader and want to survive the next years. That's not an option, that's mandatory. And that's also the reason why I think I can be very beneficial with my experience and with a network, to not make every mistake on your own, and making the best out of your budget or your funding for this initiative, because that would be a journey. Digital transformation is not a one-time effort, not a one-time shot. We say we invest once and then the next 20 years we are happy, because it would be a continuous journey where you need to make all your learnings. Sometimes you make mistakes. That's normal in business life or always in life, but to learn out of them and making it next time better. So that's in a nutshell saying what is the idea behind the company proven impact and my personal experience. And as Ralph already mentioned, I'm mainly focused in the HLS area. So everything what is healthcare, life science, pharma, med tech, insurances, and also this medical sector, which is very specific in the German area, because you have different stakeholders like the patients, the payers, the subscribers, the doctors, the HCPs, and so on. It is a little bit different in the US market, where I was happy to work with a big med tech company in California for several years, to also learn how the US medical system or healthcare system is working. It has some advantages against Europe, but also some challenges. But it's like always,
as usual. Yeah.
Where's light, there's shadow, we say.
Yeah.
Light and shadow, right said. And we would like to encourage our audience. We could have showed you a banner. If you have a question, drop it into the comments. But now I prefer to address you directly. So feel free to make some comments. We share them with the other audience and utilize the option to answer them on the spot.
Yeah.
You just said something like, don't repeat mistakes or learnings of other people, or mistakes of other people. In how far, in your experience, are businesses like our kids who prefer feeling their own pain instead of learning from their parents? Means more experienced people in general.
That's a good question. I think it's the same like in normal life, not only businesses. You have people who think they know everything, yeah? And you have people who are open and listen and say, I want to have external experiences from people who already went through the Valley of Tears or have seen it. Um, the normal story I'm telling in that context is it maybe fits more into the European area when you want to build a house on your own the first time. Yeah, you have several choices what you can do. You can say, I just look for somebody who's building the house for a fixed price maybe, and that's it. And then if you make the right choice with the builder or constructor and the architect, then everything works fine. And on the other hand side, if you have not done it before, you can run into a lot of pitfalls in that area, because sometimes they make mistakes, or they want to just having their people on work or whatever. And then you can also have some expert who is helping you through this process of building that house, with the experience, telling you who should be the right architect. Is it a good idea to start first with the roof instead of the basement? Or maybe it's not a good idea to have the entrance on the backside of your house, or whatever, just some experience. So having some experienced advisor, we call it, German word is quite nice, Bausachverständiger, some people like it, who will help you to not run to every challenges, to help you have the right parts of the house or the build at the right time. And then for sure you will have to pay for that expert, but it will help you to get rid of all the headache and the pain you maybe have on your own, and the personal downsides in your family, because this is challenging. And if you transfer that into a business context, that's exactly the same. Because if you're going into digital transformation or all these projects, you have a lot of stakeholders in your company. They have to work in the future always together, as long as you don't fire them. So the team needs to have a hygiene factor. And in that context, it's always a good idea to have some advisor at your hand, who can focus maybe on the tough part of a project, also to moderate through challenges, and have a lot of knowledge of things which maybe went wrong, and to prevent you not to do that thing. So,
in your experience, when do businesses hire these experts? After the kid is in the proverbial well, or to avoid getting there?
Okay. Let's say, so my biggest focus currently was the so-called back on track method. So
Okay.
they called me sometimes at the end, when we really went through the valley of tears. But I also support projects from the beginning. Not saying that I know everything, but the references tell that it's working better. So all of the projects have been a success. Also in the past, even it was really challenging sometimes. In my career of more than 20 years, we have not stalled a single project. So we brought everything to the end. Maybe sometimes it was really challenging also with the customers, because the expectations were maybe different. But at the end, we were successful in bringing every project live.
Okay, now, so when you are saying that for 20 odd years now, you are fixing projects.
Not only fixing, I'm also, I was delivering a lot of projects also on my own with my team, which were from the beginning, where we were implementation partner, and we also make the business transformation with them. They went well, and also in this case, we had
okay, that's okay. So, but for 20 years, we are not talking about the happy path projects here, because they are quite boring, actually, because everything worked right. So you don't learn too much of them. So now, but on the other side, as you said, for 20 years now, you are repairing projects, getting them back on track. While the success is certainly rewarding, isn't it a bit sad that companies do not learn? And why don't they learn?
And they had a lot of time to learn.
I mean, 20 years is not a short period.
It's just like anybody else. Some people need to touch the hot pot to discover that it will burn them.
Very well said, Marshall. Very well said. Burn your fingers.
Also, if you compare it with healthcare, because this is a huge topic which I'm working in, for hundreds of years, people get ill based on maybe wrong behavior.
Yeah,
You can
basically
read it
forever.
in every newspaper, in podcasts, wherever. Say, stay healthy, don't smoke, or whatever. Don't drink too much.
Mm.
They do. And that's the same thing. It's not on purpose. It is a lot of times just happening because you know that if things can go wrong, they will go wrong at a certain stage. Yeah. And normally, if one thing is going off track, a lot of other incidents are happening. And then a single challenge would be okay. And I've never seen any project which was never facing any challenges. Maybe misunderstandings. Several times we say, sorry, I was just disturbed by a chat popping up here. I have to close it. Sorry, but say in the projects you always face challenges because nothing is 100% predictable. That's project life. And in some cases, people get everybody is on the same time on vacation or is disturbed by their daily business, and not because the majority of projects are not 100% dedicated people assigned to that. And you have more chances that something could go a little bit different than planned than that everything goes always smooth. Because
Sure,
that's
but
the journey. Yeah?
many of these examples that you just mentioned are well known. So they're basically public knowledge.
For sure.
Why isn't that applied?
Why isn't that applied?
Businesses are meant to be rational.
Absolutely, Thomas. I would say what are maybe the core or main reasons I'm always seeing in projects why are things going off track. One of them is for sure personal ego of people in a project. Maybe they have not the right skill set for that specific role they have to play. They are overconfident sometimes. They are not willing to show weaknesses or missing skills. And so they do things which, when you come there and go on a higher level or on a from an outside in perspective, you like you mentioned, you will say that's absolutely logical. If you miss the timeline once and the number of bugs or tickets or however you name it are raising and always raising, and the number of issues fixed during a project are much lower than the expectation, everybody will say that's absolutely clear that this will crash at a certain point of time. But humans are optimistic. They say, it will work out, or maybe it will disappear on its own, or whatever the reasons are. And if you're bound into a project and you're personally engaged into that, you have a different view. Yeah. So
Gloria Gaynor gives your regards. I will survive. But the planning idea, Christian, is the fascinating thing. Such as in military or in boxing, it is the plan is as good as long as you get a punch into your face, and that is the challenge which is coming along, and people know about this. Why aren't they prepared?
Why aren't they prepared? Sometimes they are prepared. Let's say the majority of projects which were derailed, when I look into them, one essential thing is missing, and that's risk management, as you said, Ralf. Yeah. So everybody learns
with the what ifs.
In the methodology, if you go PMI or whatever methodology for project management you were trained at the beginning, make risk management. And then when you take a look into that, they were focusing on the daily tasks and maybe whatever. And if you take a look in the risk list, say, yeah, there's a risk that the project will not end in time, or there's a risk that we could not make sprint 3 on time because it's vacation period. That are the risks. Yeah. So if you go into ChatGPT or whatever and say, give me a list of 10 risks which a project of digital transformation can have, then this is a lot of times more than you see in risk lists or risk management.
Okay.
So, and starting from the premise of a project as such, in how far do they have core objectives and measurements or KPIs to measure the achievement level towards those objectives?
Let's say my
one of the
experience
things
is
that's
that
missing in my
at the beginning, everybody is enthusiastic, and you make some kind of project charter, which is if you're coming from an agile world, that is forgotten several times. So not saying that agile is not covering these topics, but that's seen as old school project management things. That's thing what is related to waterfall projects. So all these planning topics is maybe sometimes in the back. That's not the thing everybody want to do. But at the beginning, they do it and say, this is my success criteria. This is the expectation. If you have a change manager on board or whatever, they make a lot of interviews with the key stakeholders saying, what is your expectation? How do you define a success? And during the project, it normally is reduced to saying, what is the burn rate? And just as indicator, is it green, orange, or red, the project? And to make it funny again, we always talk about the watermelon traffic lights. It is so long green as you cut it, and then it's directly red in the inside, if you take a deeper look on it. So that's the case in the majority of the projects which are going off track. So not all projects, but a tendency.
Some of the ones that you encountered, what have their success criteria been? And follow up, how did you change them?
Okay, the success criteria in the majority of the time is saying we want to have it live at a certain date. It should improve the customer experience. Our users should be happy and should adopt it. And it should be better than the previous system or the legacy system we have. So just to very simplify it, it's around that area. And it should stay in budget. That's the thing that normally several stakeholders will tell you. And around that you can make a lot of stories or whatever. But and I want to make this project a success. And during the discussions or during the period where the project is running, we'll have a lot of things which I normally call scope creep. Or scope creep. Where a lot of ideas will be pushed to a project which are not in the core part of the deliverables you normally have. Because you have then maybe challenges with other IT applications around. To give you one example, saying a stakeholder said, I want to have a complete integration into my Microsoft Business Suite, that I can see all my tasks and emails integrated into my CRM and whatever. that is very important for me, and I have the calendars synchronized and everything. Yeah? That would be one of the user experience topics, because we have not been able to manage that before. And then say that is part of a CRM project, for example, of a sales initiative. Okay, it is important for sales reps to have that on place, but it's not the core functionality of a sales automation or CRM project. But it is there because the synchronization on a technical level. And then you realize at a certain point of time, or the technical project manager realize that they are still on a very old Microsoft on-premise version. And now you come to the biggest challenge, that you have a in-cloud application. You try to get to best of breed solution, but you cannot sync it to a 2016 Microsoft Exchange server anymore. So, and then you have a challenge in a project of a process optimization, but it's a technology thing where this is related to missing investments in the past.
Yeah.
Well, and that's also a big topic, why digital transformation is so important, because I would say the main challenge is not what it costs to do it. I would say the cost of inaction is much higher, because not doing that will cost you a fortune in the future. And that specific use case is especially focused on that. They have not invested in upgrading or staying on top on technology. And then another project is really hitting the wall because you cannot make the integration.
And it is back to those KPIs you would probably like to share with us. Some you have already touched, which are important for the ROI checkup for a digital transformation project. You mentioned already the cost of inaction. We were just aware of that in the general scope. You didn't mention from the customer perspective good quality of the project. So I was joking, as I probably they prefer cheap instead of quality. Yeah.
Okay. If we go to that topic, before we touch the ROI topic, Ralf,
Yeah, fair enough.
I would say I learned in my past years, being engaged in hundreds of projects, that we still have this project triangle. Yeah. If you know it, we have budget, we have scope, we have time, which defines a project. And in the middle, normally this topic is quality. But quality is a subjective feeling. So quality can be just the expected thing, but you have some intrinsic relations to quality, say it must be very fast, very cheap, or whatever. But cheap and good is normally on the end of a scale. Cheap could be okay. That's the minimal principle of business administration. Or you say you go to the max principle, and you want to say, I want to get the maximum outcome for my investment. But you cannot say, I want it as cheap as possible with the best possible result in any case. That will not work out. So in the project triangle, you can have some fixed points. Normally a budget is some kind of a fixed point. And the second one is time. And that is more related from my perspective to the agile principle, because you have a fixed budget, you have a fixed time in your phases and sprints and whatever, and you try to get the maximum scope into that sprints. In the former times with the waterfall, you had a specific outcome, you had maybe also a specific budget, and you had maybe the variable in the time where you can work, but it was also some kind of fixed. But at the end, the quality is defined in that triangle. And now if we go to the objectives, that's in the RI part.
Yeah.
Everybody normally thinks of monetary topics when we talk about the return on investment, saying, if I spend $100 in that area, I want a return of $120. Okay, it is possible, and it should be also for business cases. You need to calculate why you make initiatives, should be inside the planning. But from my point of view, in these digital transformation topics, we have to cover additional things which are maybe not only monetary. And I say one important thing is the customer experience.
Yes.
Because if you want to be a market leader or thought leader as a company, you need to have happy customers, which are not making a one-time buy. They should be in the continuous loop. We want to extend the customer lifetime value and whatever.
Now, are you saying that customer experience is an objective in itself?
Yes, from my
Because
point of
then we have a serious discussion. Because, well, you triple your cost base, do not increase the revenue, but have happy customers. So that's a good objective.
No, okay.
Gotcha.
I would say that it's more a soft factor, Thomas. Because if you triple your cost base, for sure you need to save some money somewhere else. But if you have the things working together, so the customer experience with the employee experience and the securing competitive advantages, which is another topic, then you are able to focus much more on individual topics of your customers, which will stay. And I think we don't need to discuss that keeping a customer is much cheaper than winning new customers or going into the churn discussion. So I think we agree all on that point, that if we have a customer which will stay our customer, which will make continuous revenue or recurring revenues with us, then that's a good thing.
Yeah. Let me yank your chain a little further. So improving the customer experience doesn't make the customer lifetime value higher.
Not directly, but indirectly.
No. Show me the link.
Yeah, if a customer,
As said, I'm yanking the chain, right?
Okay, but let's say a customer in 2024 has completely different expectations or experiences to a company than they had maybe in 2000. They're expecting hyper personalization. They're expecting customer portal.
Sorry. Shit word. No, they don't. So now, why then does the we have external comments, by the way. Why then is the Forrester customer experience index going down since 22?
Yeah.
Or 21
Dramatically.
actually.
Dramatically.
So because the expectation is rising from my point of view, but we're talking about Thomas, that is a very interesting topic, but I think also not directly of the challenges of digital transformation, because I'm more focused on how can we make a project good and what inside here, and I'm not the absolute expert on CX, but I have my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, of course, we all have.
And I also think this customer experience is helping that the customer wants to make money or business with us, saying at that end. And the expectation is rising, because everybody is, especially in the B2C area more, they're expecting that you have your app, that you can directly have absolute customer service on that, that you will have your customization, like your sneakers in a different color or whatever, return without any fees and what they are expecting, and that is quite hard to fulfill without dramatically raising the cost of a product, because somebody needs to pay it in any way. Yeah, that's the customer experience. But if we talk about the what a normal customer experience is that you felt understood by the company as a customer. Yeah, especially in the B2B area. Why is somebody buying B2B services? It's not just because you have a fancy website, you click and subscribe for a several 100K project. No, that's people business. You need to trust. You need to have detailed insights about your customer. You need to really understand their problem. You need to show them a design thinking approach, how to address the problem.
Another statistics there, 2/3 to 80%, depending on whom you ask, of the decision process in B2B purchases is done before a sales rep is approached. So means the heck I do need to know them. They need to know me. So just challenging here. So which all goes into digital transformation, of course. Yeah, because if this is the case, part one, I can say, okay, my sales rep is obsolete. Part two is I somehow need to make myself heard in a more artificial way. Let's put it like that. in via technology. Yeah? So stand out via technology. So there we are back to digital transformation. But in how far is this addressed?
And how will digitalization or digital emotion drive the heart and gets to the appreciation part?
Yeah.
That was a challenge to me.
Yeah.
That's interesting questions, for sure.
Of
Yeah, we're
course.
making you work for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marshall.
We're making you work for it with interesting questions.
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, as stated, or not stated before, but I think if we go with the path to how artificial intelligence can help in that area, let's say, but to close the loop to this project topics, because I cannot give you the one fits all answer in that area. But if we make the loop, how we can use artificial intelligence for the digital transformation, the proper way is to see at the current stage of time that artificial intelligence is something like an intern. You have as your sidekick in a project, also with working with customers. You can give your intern a lot of tasks, saying, go through all my data, which I have in my database, check our previous last 100 mails in our conversation, see what was planned, what could be done better. And this could be handed over to your intern or to the AI. And it will go through it and will pinpoint some good ideas and maybe some not so good ideas, but will do the work. In real life, if you have an intern on your side and they make it, he or she will make the analysis, you will not take it and fire it directly to your customer. You will make your own checks on that. And then you will ask, or maybe say, this is good, this is not so good, please check here, go back, make it better. This is prompting what you can do. And this will help you to understand much more the need of your customers and what maybe your customer will have expectations on you, and which communication could be at the right time, at the right place. That you can meet these expectations or the experience. And there we are at a good stage if we have a large language model which we will train, where we load our best practices and also the data of the customer in a trust layer with applications which you trust. Then this will help the users or your employees, because they will have they will have some information at hand, and it will also help the customers. Will it replace that? No, but it will give you the competitive advantage, and this will give you the foundation to make profitable business. Does this answer a little bit the questions you have, Thomas?
So unmute again. There's quite an interesting comment that came in. It's long. So expectations of how simple processes should be are increasing. That's fine. Returns are becoming terrible, and this I would add not only to B2C but also to B2C. And the terms of services are, let's say, becoming stricter and stricter. How does this jibe with transformation, which is a digital transformation, is a business transformation? How does that jibe with becoming better for my customer, while at the same time, and this is my premise, becoming better at business? Hiding that again, so that this comment was long, but good.
Yeah, it's not that easy to answer. Yeah, because
if it were easy, we wouldn't need you.
Yeah. So let's say I think you need to understand the background of what is really AI, or what is prediction. In former times, we had some algorithms which were called next best actions or whatever. You had a pool of solutions for a specific problem, and the algorithm is saying that will fit to maybe 78% the topic, and that would be the next best action in that area. Generally, the logic has not changed so much, but the data we have available in these large language models is much more. So a machine will normally, you just want to say if case A, then solution B. That is predictable. This is automizable. And that should be okay. Is that will that fit the expectation of the specific customer? Maybe not, because they have another expectation. In the example, I want to have a refund on an app which I buy by accident, or which is not fulfilling my expectation in that app. But at the end, the calculation is it profitable for the company to refund it? Based on whichever variables you put into play, or is it better to say I lose that B2C customer because he is not happy? That's just the thing where the probability that you make profitable business is higher than losing a customer, and the machine will make a decision on that. It will not have so much empathy to say, maybe Thomas is sad then.
Well, empathy is another big topic.
Yes, so I think we can have hours of discussion on the empathy. But let's take the loop with the empathy on digitalization or AI, especially in the medical sector. I don't have a study at hand, but I was following a long discussion at a big congress where they said currently, if you have an AI with a knowledge of the like brain surgery or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah? The AI would have all books written about that, and pamphlets written, and discussions in the internet. You put everything inside it, and they made some kind of a test that a normal doctor was able to identify the disease or whatever you have by a factor of 65% roundabout. Yeah, just a general practitioner. If you have a professor with his main focus is brain surgery, they will have a roundabout rate of 89% of identifying the correct disease and what to do. And the AI has a rate of roundabout 92% of doing that. Yeah? And they said the missing 8% this was their theory, was linked to the part that the patient was not able to describe his challenges in the right way. It was not a problem based on missing data or analytics. It was more than they may be complaining about problems with the ear, which maybe is issued by something like a tumor or whatever. So the probability that if a machine is going through that and indicate or make the right diagnosis is quite high. Then we come to the point of empathy. Based on these large language models, a machine was able to be much more empathic in the discussion with its problems, because it is not making any judgments on you. It has not a bad day like a doctor maybe have, or have a 20-hour shift in the hospital already behind him or her. So the discussion would always focus on how the patient or the person is writing, and the machine is adapting then and learning from the answers. So in these areas, we will have a lot of possibilities to use that AI for empathic things, and also having a lot more knowledge on a problem. But just as one of the examples.
I think I read that study as well. And empathy is a constant topic between Ralph and I, because I think if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it is a duck. So, and whereas Ralph basically says if it's not human, it can't be empathy. Just the short version of it. Where do you see empathy in a business sense? What is empathy in a business sense?
That's a very philosophic question.
Well, actually not. goes into the ROI topic.
For me, it is a philosophic question, because my personality is more based on numbers and facts. And empathy is important, but I'm a fact-driven person. So I have a lot of advantages with this AI and these decision-making processes based on facts or percentage or but the if we define empathy, then I would say that the person on the other side feels that their problem is understood. It is addressed to a certain degree, and will be part of the solution finding process. It does not 100% mean that all the wishes will be addressed or fixed.
No.
But if they feel that either the human being which is talking to them, supported by a sidekick or by experience, or the chatbot, understands more or less that, then they accept. And I think there are a lot of studies saying also that the fastest solution is more appreciated by a person, then maybe the perfect solution for a challenge. And there these AI or these tools come into play, because if you now have a problem in the next 5 hours, and you're US based, and you want to have something from a European based company where their service center is not 24/7 working, and you give a fast solution with a chatbot, which is 80% covering your challenge, then you're more okay and satisfied. And then they say, but I need some more feedback, and you get it tomorrow when your business day starts. I think then it's okay. And this combination of technology and human beings, that will make the difference in the future.
I'd like to change direction for just a moment. We've been talking a lot about project management, but we haven't talked that much about the project manager and the importance of leadership. I was wondering if you had some thoughts on that, like what qualities make an effective digital transformation leader?
Yeah, I have several thoughts on that. So, especially we have to categorize the kind of projects. Yeah. So if we have a project leader in an agile project, then we don't have that specific role normally of project manager or project leader. You have a scrum master or you have a product owner. So it's a little bit different. So if you have just internal things and you have a product owner, then I think these communication skills, bringing the stakeholders together, also the maybe developers or the budget, and doing the right things at the right time. This is the most important thing. So leadership, a clear vision, communication skills, and also expertise in the area. That will cover the person or the role of a product owner. If we come to larger digitalization initiatives, we have in the majority of projects a mixture. We don't have only internal people. We have external stakeholders like implementation partners, vendors of softwares or solutions, and so on and so on. And there we come into an area where we have a mixture between real completely Scrum or Agile projects and a mixture of some waterfall topics where we have iterative approaches. Because you will not say to an external party, here you have 500K, bring back the best result you can imagine. I trust you. This will not happen. Or in very, very few times. Because then you have some kind of a framework and say, my expectation is this, are the success criteria for that amount of money and for that time. And that's not 100% agile. That's agile components in a waterfall project.
Can an enterprise scale project be fully agile?
I've seen huge projects which are using safety methodologies. That is for real huge projects like Telecom or a lot of other companies are working in this mode. They also have external freelancers inside these projects and this methodology. It brings results. And it's the same discussion. What do you prefer? It's based on your personality and thinking. If you say that is better than that, is Apple better than Google, Android or Apple phone? You cannot say one is better than the other. It's another philosophy. It will bring their results, but it has advantages. But if you say agile, everybody is thinking about small speedboat projects which are bringing fast results. If they enterprise scale, by definition, it's not speedboat anymore. Yeah, it's you have small parts, but
let me turn your words in your mouth. Then you are basically saying that a digital transformation project, which by definition is big, is a waterfall project?
No.
Or is best organized as a waterfall? Okay.
No, it's not putting the word in the
That's
mouth.
what I wanted. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. No. Let's say you have components like a waterfall project that you have a clear vision where it should go, and you split it into smaller pieces, iterative pieces. These pieces on their track have a lot of agile components because it is the focus directly in front of you is quite sharp, but you just have an idea where it should go. And it's like I said at the beginning, it must be a journey. Nobody knows what technology will offer in 5 years' time. They have an idea. But if you look in the past 4 years ago, nobody was thinking about Aleph Alpha, ChatGPT, Gemini, and whatever. It was for a very small user group, maybe they were working on it, but for the majority of people, it was science fiction. Today, everybody is using some kind of co-pilot in the business, or not everybody, but I think our audience and our tribes.
For the record, I disabled Gemini on my Google account because it sucks.
That's subjective.
Right.
Didn't help.
Yeah.
And now I zipper it.
That you have always positive, and you will have always some negative examples. ChatGPT is not the one-fits-all solution. Because if you work a lot of that, you come sometimes to the point where you recognize this hallucination topic. Because especially if you have a lot of training documents inside it, the algorithm is just skipping it at a certain time and making his own things or ideas which they might think it might fit, but has never been into your documents you make the input. And that is the reason why I think for the next 10, 20 years, it's still very important to have a good prompting for that, and human beings who really see what is the output and make their own thinking about that. That would be the difference for us in the future and the digitization. Not just blindly trust what was written somewhere by maybe AI or somewhere in the social media. Because it's written, it's not always true. It is there, but it's not always true.
Well,
and that would be, I think, the area where we have a lot of work in the future and a lot of fun.
With that in mind, let's leave the audience with something to chew on for next time. What do you think are the 3 most important criteria for success in digital transformation projects?
Oh, that's good question. So the 3, I would say, openness to the development of technology. Saying, as stated, there's no one-fits-all solution. I'm always in the area of the best of breed. Saying in that area that technology of the company has a better solution than in that area. But I also understand why companies say to facilitate their landscape or environment, they don't make always best of breed. They focus on one vendor strategy. So, but being open, making the journey, accepting that there will be a lot of mistakes you make during your projects or transformation initiatives, like always in business, and accepting that this is the case. And if you find it out that is going in the wrong direction, then correct it. Yeah,
That was one. Cool.
good. Second thing is that we put our employees in the focus. Yeah, because technology should support the team and not replace the team. Yeah, for boring, standardizable tasks, fair enough. Yeah, but there it should be a supporter. And as I stated, my personal opinion is that business.
I
Sorry,
think he froze.
I froze.
You froze, yeah. We lost you. After
Okay.
supporter.
Yeah, I don't know what changed.
Or internet in Germany.
So I hear you, I see you, I hear myself. Ralf is frozen.
No.
He's also in Germany.
Yeah. Good or not so good.
Tom.
So I have not changed anything. Can you still again hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
You're good.
Okay. So technology should support the humans because business is made between humans. So the employees should be put in the focus. And the third topic would be, as I already mentioned, the cost of inaction would be immense. Yeah. So doing nothing is not the solution. Yeah. Because technology is evolving so fast nowadays that saying, yeah, I don't invest in that. Yeah. It will put you maybe on the second place. And second place is first loser in business.
All right.
That's my thoughts on that.
They're good thoughts, and I think it's a good place as any to end. Thank you, Christian, for your time and your insight. This has been a great hour, and we've only scratched the surface of all the things we could have talked about. To our audience, if you'd like to watch this or any of our other episodes again, you can please check us out on YouTube at CRMKonvos.
When, Marshall, not if.
Okay, yeah. If when I understand that we are really sticky content, you have to come back. Thomas is right. But it's CRMKonvos on YouTube. Liking and subscribing when you're there would be appreciated.
Yes.
Next week is going to be a little tricky, as I'm going to be on site for Dreamforce, but the opportunities for sitting down and talking to someone during our regular time aren't so great. I'm going to be busy when we'd normally be broadcasting. What we are going to try and do is get me some time with somebody. I don't want to say who yet, but somebody. Not during our usual time. We'll probably record it and show it to you as part of something else. The next regular CRMKonvos will be on Tuesday, the 24th of September. We'll be diving into hyper-personalization and how companies have done it successfully. And our guest will be Michael Obermeyer from SAS Institute. We hope you will join us for that. But until then, thank you again for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care and stay tuned.